You are now watching the Movie Juice Podcast.
The juice is loose.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Movie Juice Podcast. I'm Dylan.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm James.
Movie Juice.
Movie Juice. Movie Juice.
Movie Juice, the movie.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, Dad.
Sorry, bro. I kind of fucked up the yeah thing because you just blew me away with how
Yeah, bro,
beautiful
I like
your little
it.
singing
I
voice
like
was.
Thanks, Daddy.
Well, this week we watched
A movie.
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Go ahead and give us that box office, Daddy. Now,
It came out in December 25th, 2013. That's when it was domestically released. It premiered on October 5th, 2013 at the New York Film Festival. It went through, originally went through a production hell that spanned through multiple studios, directors, and leading actors dating back to 94.
oh shit.
It finally found traction in 2011 with Ben Stiller. He directed it. It was released by 20th Century Fox. The box office... it is an adaptation of a short story.
Okay.
It's under the same name by James Thurber. There's also a 1947 movie under the same name, but I don't know if they have the same plot. I didn't watch
We watched the one with Ben Stiller.
Yeah, we watched the good one. The budget was... Well, a lot of people don't know that it's...
Just like the way you confidently said it.
Yeah.
Well,
That other one could be like a fucking masterpiece. We have no idea.
I mean, I can look it up.
No.
Yeah.
The budget for this movie was $90 million, and the box office made $188.3 million.
All right.
So, I mean, it definitely made its budget back, and a little bit of a profit.
So the movie opens.
No, hang on a goddamn minute. Would you recommend this
The
movie?
movie opens.
I've been sleeping on this movie for fucking years.
Same. So I mean,
dude.
yeah, I probably would, honestly.
Retweet.
I absolutely would.
This was the first time I ever saw it. I've owned it for 6 years because I bought it for $1 at Dollar Tree on Blu-ray.
Dude, I have so many Blu-rays like that where like I have not watched them.
And
The Witch, Midsummer. I have a fuck ton of movies like that where I just own them even though I never watched them.
Ben Stiller directed it. Also, really good soundtrack. The two movies I've watched that I know for sure that Ben Stiller directed it. Great soundtrack.
Agreed.
would you recommend this movie?
Absolutely.
I know
Absolutely,
I asked,
for sure.
But, I would also recommend this movie. I thought it was fucking fantastic.
I've been sleeping. It came out in 2013. I wanted to see it because I remember seeing the trailer all the time when I was still in high school, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go see that."
Yeah.
I remember talking to my English teacher. I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm gonna go watch that movie," and he was like, "Yeah, it looks pretty good." And then he watched it before I did, and I never went to
Just
go
never
see
got to
it.
it.
Yeah,
I always thought it looked good too. I think that's why I picked it up on the Blu-ray because it was only $1, and I remembered it coming out because we still had cable whenever they were showing the trailers for it, so you'd see him a lot more.
That's called The Cable Guy? Yeah.
But anyway,
That's the other movie Ben Stiller.
yeah.
Like I want to say he directed Tropic Thunder, but I can't.
I can't remember.
I know for sure he wrote it, but I can't remember if he directed it.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't watch it, so I don't feel like looking it up.
No.
But also, fucking great movie. So is The Cable Guy. The Cable Guy's also
Yeah,
a good movie.
agreed.
But yeah, so the movie starts.
Walter's edging. I mean, budgeting. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a.
I saw the D and the G together in budgeting.
He
and
just
I
said
fucked
edging.
that up.
I thought it was just a jokey joke.
But he's like budgeting.
Yeah, he's balancing his checkbook, and I just wrote, "What a dork."
Because he doesn't. Because I think the jacket makes him like 10 times cooler. When he's just wearing the shirt with the fucking pocket protector, he looks like a dork. But when he throws that jacket over it,
bro.
he looks fucking cool. He looks like a dork with a little pocket protector and a tie.
And then it shows that bro's immediately trying to get some stanky on his hangdown.
On eHarmony.
The motherfucking...
Remember eHarmony?
The motherfucking eHarmony way. I remember ads for eHarmony back
All
in the
the
day.
time.
Yeah, like that's like pre-Tinder internet dating.
Yeah, oh god. Fuck.
Yeah, they even had TV commercials for it and everything.
Yeah, there'd be ones like that, and like OkCupid. There was all kinds of shit.
Okay, Cupid's an app now. It still exists.
FarmersOnly.com.
You don't have to be lonely at FarmersOnly.com.
You also had BlackPeopleMeet.com.
Yeah.
ChristianMingle.com.
Christian Mingle.
Mingle.com.
Plenty of Fish was another
Plenty
one.
of Fish.
My dad was on that one all the time back in the
Plenty
day.
O Fish.
Plenty of Fish. And then, but bro's trying to get some stanky. eHarmony is so 2013. I take that as a note.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that he had to psych himself up to send the wink too.
Yeah, he
He's
he goes and like sits down and like fucking meditates for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he comes back to the laptop.
But then he finally clicks it and it doesn't let him.
It says she wants somebody who has all these things, or at least someone that's employed and
That was just funny.
Yeah.
Dude, she's really funny on the thing. Because
My-
it's like I have a three-legged dog and a child. Well, no, he's two-legged.
I put unable to perform requests. Imagine getting cock blocked by your own laptop.
I also wrote down he has a sweet record collection.
Yeah, I saw it in the background when he was psyching himself up.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't go through. Walter calls eHarmony about the wink at the bus stop because he leaves his apartment.
And Patton Oswalt answers the phone.
Yeah,
dude.
Todd.
I wrote, he's just trying to wink at Cheryl.
Right.
Like, and then he's like, I noticed that your profile.
Your been there, done that section is blank. He's like, yeah, I haven't really been many places.
Yeah.
I said,
I went to Phoenix, but that was just for the layover, so it doesn't really count.
no, he went to Phoenix, but he can't remember why. And then he said, and he was in Nashville for the layover.
Right.
Yeah.
And I put, bro hasn't done a lot, nothing noteworthy or mentionable. And then, like while he's talking on the phone, he like all of a sudden he like goes and like jumps off of the
Dude,
fucking
I thought this
bridge.
was cool.
That was cool. As
And
fuck,
like goes
dude.
through a window and like comes running out and saves a dog and gives it to Cheryl. And it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, where did this come from? And then you find out like it cuts back to it's a daydream.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
find out he
dude.
daydreams a lot.
This is when I wrote down that Patton Oswalt's the
Oh, it is funny.
support guy.
I had the exact same note. It says computer cock blocks him. Like literally, that's what my notes say.
And then he says that he's adventurous, brave, and creative. And then it was all a daydream. He missed the train. And then you get.
Oh, because
I think she says that in her bio that she wants somebody that's adventurous, brave,
yeah,
and creative.
he gets brought out of the daydream by Patton Oswalt. And I'm like, hey, are you there?
You there, my man? My man. Because he calls him my man a lot.
Yeah.
And then he missed the train.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta go. I missed the train.
And then
I like how the street, like the bus signs behind him turn into like
Yeah.
the
That's what I put.
title
I put,
title card.
I put
Yeah.
cool opening credits. Because like
then-
it's like far away shots, then you can see like the words in the background.
For sure.
I put title card and street signs,
Very
and then bigger title card.
It reminded me of like Scott Pilgrim and Baby Driver.
And then at
it
first,
was very Edgar Wright-ish
Yeah.
in some instances. I agree.
and then I was like, bro, Walter got a weird ass run. It was what he was running at first.
He gets better though.
Oh, yeah.
I have a note where
Yeah.
like the more he runs in the movie, the better he gets at running.
I love how much this dude comes into his own in this movie.
Yeah.
I love it.
But he goes to work. Pretty much just kind of cuts to him getting to work, and you
Yeah.
find out that the company is getting acquired. Some dude
Because-
just comes up to him and tells him, "Hey, the company got
I think his
acquired."
name is Tim because he's like, hey, today's a bad day to be late.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
got acquired. And then the other guy's name is Gary.
And then you also find out it's his 42nd birthday.
And he runs into his sister in the hallway.
His sister
Yeah, Odessa.
Odessa, and
Played by Catherine Hahn.
she is an
Yeah.
actress going to an audition, even though she's supposed to be helping their mom move a piano.
Right.
And my note about that was kind of forgot all the random ass roles Catherine Hahn had before being in the MCU.
Yeah, right. It's weird.
She used to be in like everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a random ass
You ever
shit.
see the horror movie The Visit with the kids?
Yeah.
She's in that.
She's the mom in that.
She's in a movie that me and a friend watched in the theater a long time ago with Mila Kunis. She's in it. Like,
Bad Moms Club?
Bad Mom, yeah.
Yeah.
She's in that.
Yep.
She's in Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to roll you up in a ball and shove you in my vagina.
I feel a little tickle. I'll just note your hair.
Just note your hair. And you find out the company's downsizing.
It's funny that we mentioned Step Brothers because Adam Scott's also in this movie too.
Yeah.
And then Adam Scott has a deep beard. That was what I wrote.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I noticed was that motherfucker's beard. I was like, what?
Oh,
'Cause I have
she brought him a cake. I don't know if we mentioned the cake
Yeah,
part.
because
Yeah.
that comes back later. The Clementine cake.
Bro loves that shit. And then, because Adam Scott calls him Cake Man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wrote Walter is Cake Man.
And I put, goddamn, Adam Scott looks terrible with this Abe Lincoln style beard.
Yeah.
And then he asks him like what he does, and he like stumbles over his words, and he says Dirkly because I just wrote Dirkly.
I did put
Dirkly?
Dirkly as
Yeah.
well. Dirkly.
Dirkly, what do you do here, Cake Man? He's like, oh, the cake is it's a gift.
And then he has him the daydream where he makes fun of him because he's like, oh, what were you gonna say? He's like, I was gonna say that Dumbledore looks good with the beard. You don't.
Yeah. Then it cuts, and he's just like standing there staring at him
Yeah.
again. Because I wrote Walter roast Adam Scott, but
Yeah.
not really. And then I wrote Walter because he tells him finally he's the negative asset manager.
Yeah.
And then I wrote Adam Scott is Ted, and they work at
Yeah.
Life Magazine. Life Magazine was actually a thing, right?
Yeah, I think it still is.
Is it still a thing? I don't know
sure.
fuck all about magazines.
I think there's still a company like this in this movie because one of my notes is life transitioning to an online company is very of the times for like 2013.
for sure.
When like everyone was trying to transition to doing online stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really relatable for that time
I wrote it's funny he works at Life but has no life.
because
But
the whole
Yeah.
motto, you know.
Yeah, their first issue was January 4th, 1883, and it's still in publication today.
Walter
Goes to get some coffee.
Yeah, he goes to
And
get
he
some.
spaces out again. Well, he thinks that Cheryl is talking to him,
Yeah,
but she's talking to her friend.
that's like walking up behind
Yeah,
him.
and then they start talking about their weekend. And he's like spying on him a little bit while he's getting coffee.
And he hears her say something about like making a joke about her Latin lover.
Yeah.
And then he daydreams about being her Latin lover because
Yeah.
like the picture behind her is like of a mountainous
mountain.
gate,
Yeah.
and he comes out of the picture and he's like a Latin dude, and
Yeah.
he's like super sexy and
Yeah.
suave talking to her.
And then Adam Scott and all his buddies see him daydreaming.
Well, he
Yeah.
talks about so he says something about testing the limits of the human spirit,
Yeah.
which I wrote that down, which is cool that because that does kind of come up later
Yeah.
too.
And then she's like, I want to climb your hair.
And he talks about his he also has a poetry falcon,
Yeah.
which I wrote. Poetry falcon is fucking sick. Like, could you imagine, bro? And then you realize Walter's daydreaming, which I mean is very obvious at this point. that he's
Because
just daydreaming.
Ted's like, I wonder if you threw a paperclip at him, would he even notice? And then that other guy was like, yeah, I threw a printer at
Yeah,
him.
I threw a toner box at him once, but missed. And Ted's like, okay.
Okay. What's the point?
That story was very helpful.
And she's like, he's like, yeah, did he flinch? She's like, oh, I don't know, I missed.
And then he hits him, and then he hits him with the paperclip, and I just wrote poor Walter.
Yeah.
I was like, I
He's
feel
like,
for
what
the
the
guy.
fuck?
Because they're mean to him, dude.
I put their dicks, but I kind of get it, because, like, he is just kind of spacing out.
Walter is not making a good first impression.
No.
At all.
Not at all. And then he walks to his office.
And you meet Hernando.
Fernando, I like him, he's funny.
I like Hernando. Pretty
then,
sweet man.
The negative role is sitting on the desk, and they talk about Sean O'Connell, who's like this high-profile photographer.
Yeah.
And
Played by Sean Penn.
I could not remember his fucking name.
Yeah.
But I was like, I know
Sean.
this fucking guy. And, he kind of has like a note for Walter about how reliable Walter is. And he gives him, he also writes that he wants to use 25 as like, because they find out it's like the last printing of the magazine. And he says he wants to use negative 25 as the last cover
Yeah.
of the magazine.
Yeah. And the note says, "Look inside."
Look inside, because it's not on the roll, like it's not there. So
Yeah.
Luke says, "Look inside." He opens up his wallet because he gives him a wallet too, and the inside of the wallet has the motto of Life magazine in it. And did you guys write the quote down?
No.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Okay, good. I didn't. I was just thinking. I told Grace, I was like, I should probably write that down, but I know one of the other two boys will.
Right.
I was right.
Surprised
So-
I didn't. Actually, I'm surprised it was him.
The inside says, "To see the world, things dangerous to come to see behind walls, to draw closer, to find each other, and to feel. That is the purpose of life."
Right.
I really like that. I think it's pretty cool. But 25 is missing. But everyone wants 25.
He asked Hernando to look around for it, because he has to go upstairs to a meeting that Adam Scott's holding
Yeah. Shows up to the meeting late. Another great way to impress these guys.
to make Adam Scott hate you.
You find out that this month's issue, this is when they say this is the last issue.
This will be the last issue.
Oh, I do have an update on that. I know you guys asked if it was still being printed today. No, it is not currently in print. It ended publication in 2007, but it is currently being revived and will issue every 2 weeks.
2007?
What are the odds we cover this whenever they're like working on bringing it back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is odd. Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Well, I've been looking for an answer, and it kept giving me like different answers, but like yeah.
Bro got the runaround, but he found it. Becoming live online, then they're gonna have cuts because they're not gonna need as many people not doing a publication, which makes sense. And everybody's sad about it because somebody says they are sad. I don't know who does that. I guess Ted says that because underneath where I write they are sad, I write Ted is a dick, and they talk about how Sean O'Connell sent a telegram, and like that's how they know about number 25. He's like talks about the old man who brought him the telegram, and like it shows the old man like walking away, and he like stops for a second and keeps going.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. And then they're saying how like this photo is going to be like the quintessence of Life magazine.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's like this is his whole thing the whole time. Talking about the quintessence, and he's like, what the fuck does that even mean? And what do they say it means? Do you guys remember?
Like the ultimate, like, form of something like that.
Yeah.
But they're like, he has to get, like, confirmation from his buddies
Right.
to know what it means.
we also forgot to fail to mention whenever he's spaced out in the coffee room, he calls him Major Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a good call, good catch.
Because I actually have underneath this where Ted calls Walter Major Tom, because I guess he calls him that again.
Because he's like, grab control to Major Tom.
Right.
Yeah.
And Walter stares at Cheryl again.
And then he shoots his shot.
And I was like, I put daydream walking, and then I put he introduces himself, and I was like, fuck yeah, Walter.
Yeah, probably growing a backbone a little bit.
And then he he talks about how he's trying to get in touch with Sean, and he asks her if she has like an
His
address.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she says she does not, and tells him that Pam sent him a check to
New York
and Greenland.
No, Princeton. Because they say he's not. They know he's not in New York anymore.
Yeah.
But he
And
was.
it's either he's in Princeton, New Jersey, or he's in Greenland.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
And that she could possibly get the address that way.
Yeah, she's waiting for a call back. He's okay, cool, thank you.
And I just wrote, LOL, Walter is so awkward. And this one, they decide to blow up the images around 25 to try and get a clue about where Sean is.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of a thumb, some sort of water.
And I love that transition because like it just transitions to him looking at it outside.
That was so fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, the water
That's
fountain.
literally in my note. Because I think it's funny too when he's talking to Cheryl. He said, I can't remember what it was, but I just wrote down, "Yes, I'm not," because I thought it was funny. And she's like, "Are you coming this way?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm not."
Yeah, it's when she's getting on the elevator.
Yeah, he's like, "You coming down?" He's like, "Yes, I'm not."
Dude, I thought that was funny too.
But
And I put in my notes that he's giving like lost puppy vibes because he's like
sure.
trying to follow her, doesn't know what to do.
Ben Stiller's good at playing that
yeah,
character.
he is.
Though.
And then that's when I put in my notes, cool transition, because that is really cool
Honestly,
transition.
I think the casting of this movie was fantastic.
Same,
'Cause,
like-
I do too, like every single person.
Like even
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig, you're like, that kind of works.
yeah, because like she's good at being that like quirky,
Yeah.
kind of funny girl. Stiller's really good at being the lost puppy kind of guy. Adam Scott just perfect at being a punchable douchebag.
Asshole, yeah.
And he's just so fucking good at that, which is weird because Parks and Rec, he's completely
Yeah, he's like
different
a really nice guy.
character.
But then after the transition is where Cheryl comes up to Walter and they start talking again outside.
Yep.
And where he's sitting there at the fountain and this is when he finally confesses to her that he can't find 25.
And then she brings up something cool that I have later as well, where she says she was taking this class about
Like mystery
novels,
Yeah.
and like you always have the clues that don't line up until you figure out one clue, and then they all kind of fall into place and you figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's cool because that.
Because that comes back later.
Here's another daydream. He's like, oh, but I did make this fountain or whatever.
Yeah.
There's like the little statue of the fountain is
It's
just
like
them.
yeah.
Yeah, I wrote Cheryl isn't very helpful looking at the pictures, but they have a cute little interaction, and then an LOL statue daydream. This dude is nuts. And then it goes to him going to where they're loading up his mom's piano.
Yeah, because Odessa calls him.
In her apartment.
Yeah, and it won't fit, so they need to get her a bigger...
They get her a new place.
Yeah, they
What's
get
it
her
called?
a villa.
A
There you
villa.
go, yeah.
And they said it's $4,700.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, that's fine, we'll take it. I was like, geez, I wish I had that.
Yeah, and you know it's just him that's paying for it because his
Yeah.
sister's a deadbeat actress.
Yeah.
Yep.
No offense.
Because
but-
he's like, yeah, because later on he says, when he's talking to Cheryl, he's like, it's not on Broadway, but it's just some play. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's like a play in a church.
Yeah.
Tough and Tender. Because
Yeah.
he was playing Rizzo. And he was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's Tough and Tender.
But Odessa gives Walter a Stretch Armstrong, which
Yeah.
you know.
Like, remember this when you were kids?
They do have like a good family dynamic though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think that's really hard to find in a lot of movies, but they do a really good job.
And then
in
he's
this
going
one.
through some of his mom's stuff while they're moving it, and he finds the travel journal that his dad
Yeah.
got him that he didn't use.
Yeah, he
And that's when you
does.
find out that his dad died
And also
on a
his...
Tuesday.
And his mom never throws away any of Walter's knickknacks.
Right,
Yeah.
which comes back later.
And I also wrote Walter had a sick mohawk. Did you see the picture of him with his dad?
Yeah, he looked like Travis Bickle. I thought that was funny.
And then you find out he worked at Papa John's
And KFC.
And
KFC.
Yeah, I put sad because his dad died and worked there? Question mark. He also worked at KFC.
Dude, I thought his mom saying that was kind of funny because she was just like, she's like, yeah, I found it kind of weird that your dad died and you went to go work for a pizza place that has a father figure
Father
in
and
the name.
Papa.
Yeah.
And he's like, I never called Dad Papa though.
I never really thought about it.
Yeah, until now, thanks.
But this is whenever they start talking about, because it's another cut with the picture, and they see the word in the picture of the water, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says that it looks like a boat. Then he gets in an elevator.
Well,
And
before that, he walks with her because remember the thing has to buffer. Remember when she
Yeah,
looks,
the
she looks
Google.
up, she Googles it, and they walk.
She Googles.
While it's buffering.
But there's something else happens before that, because this is whenever
That happens before that.
Yeah.
Okay, my
because
bad,
this is whenever Ted gets in the elevator,
Right.
and he's a
With
dickhead
Stretch-
to
with
him
Stretch
about the Stretch Armstrong, and then they
Yeah.
get into the fight, and he has another daydream about them
Yeah.
fighting over Stretch Armstrong,
Yeah.
where they're like gliding through the streets
Dude,
and shit.
That was cool. He's like snowboarding, he's skiing.
Yeah, dude. Ted was such an asshole. He was just like, I can't take you seriously if you're holding a toy.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a place of business.
And
man.
then I write down, stop fiddling with sweets and little men. Because Adam Scott says that.
That was funny. Yeah.
And I was like, what? And Ted is superhuman, so is Walter. Cool street sliding
Dude,
chase.
I thought that scene was really fucking cool.
I did too, man. I thought it was awesome. Like, it really, the daydreams in the beginning really catch your attention. And then like, later in the movie, it takes such a turn. It's crazy how this movie works.
Yeah.
And then, like, they end up, like, each, like, stretching, using Stretch Armstrong to, like, stretch each other. Like, at one point, he's, like, stretching really far, and in my notes, I just put, man, that Armstrong sure can stretch. Because he's, like...
Because it's wrapped around something, and he's, like, struggling.
Yeah.
And it swings them back around.
And then they go for a punch.
They're getting ready to punch each other, and then he snaps out of it.
Yeah, he's like, hey, hello.
Because he likes poking him in the forehead.
Yeah, and then they both get out of the elevator. When he gets out of the elevator, I noted that Walter gets hit by the elevator.
Oh, because when he poked him in the head, he was like, hello, does the Tin Man need his oil?
Oh, yeah, dude. I thought that was funny.
I put Ted as such a doucher.
And then Todd calls him again when he gets out of the elevator.
Yeah.
And this is whenever he's like talking about his eHarmony account, trying to help him with it. And he talks about how he just wanted the pina colada thing with Cheryl.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
He's like, can you sing a little bit of it? And he does. He goes, oh, is that Hall & Oates?
Yeah, that was funny.
That's
what my next note is that Hall & Oates? Like, no, jackass.
And then this is whenever he tells Cheryl about the clue in the water. And she invites Walter to walk with her to get her son.
Yeah, also because you find out that she has a kid. And I put Cheryl has kids, #deal breaker.
Pina Colada song's actually Rupert Holmes.
Gosh, yeah, it's not Hall & Oates.
And this is also whenever she starts to Google it.
Yeah. And they're walking to the park while it's buffering.
Yep. And then you find out that she worked at Nabisco because she says that, and I wrote it down.
And then she has to take a call.
And been working at Life magazine for 16 years.
And she's
like,
over there for like a month.
She's like, oh, I've only been there for a month, and she's also newly single.
He also shows her the wallet that Sean gave her. He talks about how him and Sean are boys. And then Richard's dad calls, she ignores. Walter used to skateboard. This is whenever they get to the park. Well, he talks about how he used to be in the scene. And then they're in the park.
Yeah, because he asks, he was like, oh, what kind of skateboard does your son have? She's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Which I thought was pretty cool. Because it kind of alludes to him being like a punk kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then he does some sweet fucking tricks.
Yeah, dude.
That boy Walter can shred, bro. He does a kickflip.
And her son was fucking impressed, too. He was like, wow.
At first, he's like, can I show you something? He's like, yeah, I guess. And then he does the kickflip. We're like, oh, shit, you're kind of cool.
Yeah, I wrote Walter's doing sick tricks behind Cheryl, and she has no idea.
He does some Rodney Mullen shit, too, where he, like, fucking flips it and then, like, flips into it. I was like, God, this is like a Rodney Mullins over here.
I shouted out mid-90s, bro. I said shout out mid-90s. Because honestly, that would have been around the time that Ben Stiller would have been in the scene.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Like a little Tony Hawk.
Yep.
And then this is whenever they find out that Sean isn't in New York.
Yeah.
He's either in
Greenland or Princeton.
But we know Princeton because he was there a little bit ago, but not anymore. So that's why we know he's in Greenland now.
Yeah.
And then Phil calls her again, and she answers the phone, and I said, man, fuck Phil cock blocking my boy Walter.
And then he has another whole elaborate daydream.
Yeah, daydream about Cheryl running away with him, and I just wrote sweet.
Yeah, because like
they run away, and then he has Benjamin Button.
He says that he has the Benjamin Button thing, but he doesn't understand it because he's never seen the movie.
Because she says something, then it goes into his daydream. Because she was like, "Oh, Phil's calling. I guess I should answer. Maybe he fell in a hole." And then like the daydream starts with, "He fell in a hole."
Then she's like, "I don't care.
Right. I only want you."
And then after he says that about the Benjamin Button thing, and they start kissing, he's like starts turning into an old man.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool transition. Like, he keeps like circling around them, and each time you can tell his hair's getting grayer.
Gets old as fuck while they kiss. Now he is a tiny man.
Dude, Benjamin Button, Ben Stiller's gonna haunt my dreams.
Yeah, that was weird. And then it cuts to them being old people in this daydream. And he's got his little goofy suit on, and she compliments him for his suit, and he says he got it at the doll store.
And she's like, "It's okay, you can die now."
She's like, "Goodbye."
She tells him that he's the bravest man she's ever known, and then she also calls him a weird little baby man. And then just nestle in here and die is crazy. And then
she's telling him goodbye, and then she's like, "Where do you go?"
Yeah, I know, because she was talking about a refrigerator. She's like, "I'm sorry for warning you about my refrigerator." And then
he's like, "No, you didn't." She's like, "Oh yeah, my son's trying to ride out into the street." And then she turns around and she goes, "Oh, Ted doesn't know what he's talking about and doesn't understand the song Major Tom."
It's about taking a courageous step into the brave unknown.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I put my notes. I just like that she's talking up Major Tom.
Like,
one of my That's a really good song.
Yeah.
The song's called Space Odyssey. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they keep referring it to Major Tom, because it's called Space Odyssey.
Right.
Walter is
Back
courageous.
to the office.
Ted keeps hassling Walter over number 25.
And he says it's in a silver bath.
It's in a silver bath.
He's like, next time
I see you, I see the picture.
I see the picture. And he was like, repeat that to me. Just make
so
sure.
I know you fucking heard it.
Yeah.
He didn't say fucking, but so I know you heard it. And I was like, God, you're such a... Now you're just being a dick of a boss, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you were just being a dick at first, but now you're being a dick boss.
Complete asshole about it.
So, you go back to where he goes into his actual office, and Hernando's been looking for it.
I can't find it. I've turned this place upside down.
At this point in the movie, I'm thinking that 25 doesn't exist.
Same. I thought maybe it was tested.
Like, I thought it was going to be some bullshit about, like, the meaning of life is what you make it, or something like that. You know, which, like, would have been what
would have been good, too, but I like the reveal at the end better anyway.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to get to the end.
Same.
Because the movie hasn't really heated up yet.
No.
Like, it's building blocks.
Cooking.
It's building blocks very well.
Let it cook.
Let it cook. It is cooking.
Let him cook.
Let Walter cook.
And then this is cool too, because when he's standing there, he looks at the picture of Sean, and he starts
like
waving him forward to like come to him, and it's like, oh,
come find
man.
me. And then
this is whenever
Wake Up by Arcade Fire plays.
Yep. Walter starts his hero's journey.
Yes, he does.
I love that shot of him running down the hallway with all
like you see like Muhammad Ali and like Kennedy, and you see fucking John Lennon, and he's running through, and then the last one is a picture of him as a fucking astronaut.
It's like going to the brave unknown.
I did watch this movie 2 days in a row, and the second time I love the foreshadowing of that, knowing what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah.
Dude,
bro,
for
I love
sure.
that.
And dude, I'm getting goosebumps right now because he goes to the airport. He goes to the airport, and while he's like walking through the airport, you start to see
life's motto.
the life motto,
like bit by bit.
It's showing up in like the little little airline signs when he's in the fucking airport, and then he gets on the thing, and then it shows him in the like you said on the airplane itself, and it's just
and then the runway has the last little bit of it.
This is so cool. Fucking good because it's like bro's fucking doing it. You know, he's not fucking daydreaming anymore because homie just decides to go to Greenland. Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go find this motherfucker.
Like, I can't find this picture. I'm gonna go get it.
Oh, get him.
Because this scene actually put tears in my eyes.
Shit,
like I didn't cry, but I got
not here. I didn't yet, but I was like, yeah, fucking.
It definitely made me emotional.
I was like, let's do it
because I was like,
it gets you fucking built up.
I wrote, he goes to Greenland, man. What a fucking guy. And then he gets there, and I just wrote, now what?
He goes up to the
car guy.
And he was like, you have any cars? He goes, I have a red one and a blue one.
And he picks the red car.
I'll take the red one.
Dude,
nice.
I would put nice cinematic shot of Walter driving down the road in a red car, and I put it out on the second one. I was just like, dude, it's beautiful because how it's panned out. It's all blue in the background, and then you see the red car.
Yeah, dude,
it's fucking cool.
It's so cool, man. Yeah. And then he goes to a karaoke bar.
Yeah, I put drunk daytime karaoke.
Yep. And there's a dude drinking the boot.
Yeah, I put Das Boot.
Das Boot. Das Boot. Yeah, because she's like, oh, can I get you a drink? He goes, yeah, I'll take a small
boot. And it's not. It's the same boot.
And then he's asking if this is like a post office. Like, did they get mail there?
Yeah.
And she says...
Airmail.
Yeah, heli mail.
Heli mail.
Yeah, because they're like a pub, also a helipad.
Yeah, a pub and a helipad. It's crazy. And then you find out that the boat is like... Ergisnek is the boat name?
Yeah, but like, you know, the way they say shit is not how we would pronounce it. There's like,
oh yeah, earlier there's like another word and I just write some letters down.
Yeah.
I was like, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like it rolls off their tongue like it's nothing, but we have to like, I guess us as Americans try to enunciate it the American way, and it's not at all how they say it.
And then the drunk guy starts singing another song, starts talking about how he's alone and he feels alone.
Oh, fuck, what was that song?
He starts singing Don't You Want Me Baby.
Yeah. Don't sing along with him. I was like, don't you were working, guys. And he's like, I was working. I was like, no, that's not the lyric, buddy.
Yeah. He tries to get Walter to sing, and Walter's like, I don't want to sing.
And then he starts fucking pushing and poking Walter.
Yeah, he's like, stop poking me.
And then they get into a fucking bar fight.
Dude, that dude was about to slam that glass in his eye.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's like about to kill Walter. And then Walter's like, Walter realizes his thumb is the thumb from the picture. He's like, your thumb.
I gotta talk to you about your thumb.
And then they start talking. It cuts to them sitting at a table.
He's just drinking his fucking beer.
Pounding beers. And he's talking about being lonely and how like he shouldn't cheat on his wife or whatever. And then he says there's like 8 people.
There's like 8 people in Greenland.
Cheat on your wife when there's only 8 people around. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's talking about how he end up in Greenland. And then he talks about how he's the driver of the helicopter and he's about to go out there and drop off radio parts. I wrote, drunk helicopter ride?
Because the way he says it, Walter's like, yeah, huh? You're
Yeah.
going to go right now?
And he asks Walter to come with him, and Walter just kind of blinks at him at first.
Walter's like, you're drunk.
You're drunk. And then finish your beer and fly machine sounds like a good idea to me. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And then he talks about how there's a storm coming, so he drinks drinking because he's nervous. And then he gets up to go leave, and Walter's like, he's
I'm not doing that.
not coming with him. He's not gonna do it.
Right.
And then it's funny because when the dude stands up to go outside, he like can barely even stand
Bro,
up.
I was like, bro,
Yeah.
you were gonna die.
Yeah. Dude.
I understandably see why Walter would not want to get on a plane with this man.
Dude
Yeah,
can't even
for
stand
real.
but he's gonna fly a chopper. But then this whole time I'm like, Walter, you gotta go though.
Yeah.
Like it's your only chance.
Yeah.
And then while he's like watching the dude outside, he like the chopper pilot goes and like starts like messing with the dogs
Yeah.
that are out there. And while Walter's looking outside, he starts daydreaming about Cheryl.
Cheryl
Yep,
starts
singing
playing
Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey,
Space Odyssey up on the
with
stage
guitar.
with the
Yeah.
guitar.
Kristen Wiig, Loki,
Not a bad singer.
Loki, not a bad singer.
Yep, and it gets him hyped up, and he runs and jumps on the helicopter as it's going up.
Dude,
It's
that was fucking
awesome, dude.
dude.
I love this shot, dude.
And then I
love
said,
Because I was singing along too. I was like, so I was so pumped, dude.
I wrote, bro, Walter's actually the badass he thinks he is in his daydreams, and this is fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, like as he's running towards the helicopter, I wrote, "Love that you can't tell what part is the daydream and what part is real," and I put like the heart emoji
Right.
beside of it.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking sick, man. And he gets in the helicopter, and while they're riding, the guy's like, "Are you comfortable?" And he's like, "No."
Not really.
And then he's like, "Where?" They go up to the boat, and there's like the main boat, and then there's like a little pontoon kind of thing,
Yeah.
like almost it looks like a lifeboat, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, like we don't land, you gotta jump.
Take the radio parts.
Yeah, like take the radio parts and jump into the boat.
And then Walter takes a leap of faith.
Well, while he's doing that, he's like asking Walter, like, "Hey, you got? Is there a way I can contact you? Like, so we can still be friends?" And I thought that was funny. And then Walter goes and jumps.
And
but
he's like, no, wrong side, not
Yeah.
that boat.
Yeah, he-
Jump to the small boat.
he jumps for the wrong boat. And then it shows him go underwater, and
Which
he drops
is
the
fucking
radio
cool ass
parts.
shot.
It was a cool
I
shot.
like the
And then I
cinematography
assume the
of
Stretch
that.
Armstrong brought him back up in his because he put it in his briefcase earlier,
Yeah, he does.
hide
Yeah, he
it.
has it with him.
and I guess it was like buoyant, so it like floated him back up to the top.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
the captain's like, "Oh, it's okay. We'll come get you with the boat." And then it's like you see a little fin. He's like, "Oh, it's a shark." He's like, "No, it's porpoise."
it's a porpoise.
He's like, "It's not a porpoise."
Hey.
Because like the way he says it, he's like, "It's not a porpoise."
And then it's actually a fucking shark.
He's like, "Oh, no, that's a shark."
He's like, I told you.
I told you it was a shark. It's not a porpoise.
And then he starts fighting the shark. And then they get him into the little lifeboat.
'Cause
and
I think it's funny too. The captain's like, "Stop befriending it, kill it."
he gets pulled into the lifeboat, and he's like touching that dude's face, and he goes, "Sorry for bombing your face." And then you find out that Sean O'Connell had like just left the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he just barely missed him.
Yeah.
But they find out he's going to Iceland.
Iceland for a photo shoot because he finds that the shoot schedule is wrapped in the cake. He gets the cake that Sean had, and he realizes that it's the cake that his mom makes, which is a clue for later.
Yeah.
That I should have picked up on, but didn't for some reason.
Me neither.
And then it was wrapped in his shoot schedule, and that's when he finds out that he was going to Iceland.
And then I also want to mention that there's like the dude on the boat who loves that he's an American.
Yeah, he kind of befriends him.
Because he calls him Fonzie.
Yeah, Fonzie.
And then he calls him Home Slice, and that
Yeah.
shit made me laugh.
And then he also gives him some new clothes, and
Yeah.
I think it's cool. He kind of looks like Jason Bourne
Yeah.
from the first movie with his like little sweater and cargo pants. I was like, oh, he kind of dressed like Jason Bourne.
But you find out that the shoot itinerary is on. I just wrote ejaculate. I know that's not what it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ejaculate.
And then
Ejaculate. That's when I just wrote random numbers,
Yeah.
random letters down.
Ejaculate?
he's like, "What's in Iceland?" And someone's like, "Oh, there's a volcano."
Yeah, then they find out, and then they find out. He's like, "Well, can we go to Iceland?" And they're like, "Well, we have to
We
because
have
you
to,
lost the radio
Because you didn't get the
parts."
fucking radio parts.
So it works out for
Kinda worked out, yeah.
him. And then as the dude's like leaving, he goes, "See you on Sesame Street."
Yeah.
And then it cuts to them being docked,
Yeah.
and they're telling him like that he's got to go get the bike.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
it was really fun. having
Because
you
there's
on here.
like 10.
Because they're being all fucking cryptic about it. Like, you better hurry before the.
Yeah, and they're like pretending like to grab.
So what does that
titties.
mean? I don't understand what you mean.
Because there's 10 horny
Horny
Chileans.
Chileans.
Yeah.
And they want to go to the strip club, and he's like, "So?" He's like, "There's only one bike."
Yeah.
He's like, "Ghoul."
And then they show them all getting off, and start running towards the bike.
Because there was a cool song playing too, and it was it's called Step Out. I looked it up because I put it on my playlist.
Oh, yeah?
But it has that fucking song, and he's like running to the bike. he makes it there for anybody else.
Dude.
And then the one guy, I love that he yells. He says, "Stay gold, pony boy."
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
I told Grace, I was like, I used to get that quote wrong on purpose all the time.
Yeah.
I would say
He did it at Walmart to me once. He's like, "Stay pony, golden boy."
Yeah, I would say stay pony golden boy. See if anyone will correct me. Only like one person. Hey, only one person ever corrected me. And I was like, yeah, I know.
But yeah, so he fucking outruns all those guys and he gets the bike and he takes the fuck off.
And then we get a little montage of him doing it.
The bike scene.
So
is
good, dude.
Fucking
Beautiful
bro.
landscapes and cinematography in this movie.
Yeah.
And then while he's riding his bike,
Todd
Todd
calls
calls
him.
Fucking Todd calls.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, so I mean, your profile doesn't have any likes yet." He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "What are you doing now?" He's like, "Oh well, yesterday I fought a shark and jumped out of a helicopter."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh," he's like, "You really shouldn't daydream that much." He's like, "No, seriously, I like really did that." He's
And
like, "Wait, you did?"
Todd is like immediately just impressed.
He's like,
He's
"Oh,
like,
that's
what?
cool as
He's
shit."
like, whoa. And then while he's riding, he looks and he sees all those birds.
Well, before that, and then he's like, "I gotta go. I'm biking. It's not a good time." He hangs up.
Yeah, he's like,
And
I'm
then he
biking
sees
to a
those birds.
volcano.
And even before that too. Oh no, I didn't put it in the notes, but I was like, I knew he was gonna crash that bike because he was daydreaming.
Yeah.
And then I put in my notes. I called that crash coming from a mile away because I knew he was gonna crash while he was
Yeah, he
daydreaming.
fucking eat
He
shit.
sees Cheryl's face and he hits that
And
sign.
it fucks up the bike, so he can't bike anymore. So he starts running.
And I also just put a little note here that I said, I'm going to be sad if Cheryl and him don't get together.
Yeah.
Which, we find out later what happens. But
Yeah.
the bike is fucked up, so Walter just starts hoofing it the
And
rest
this
of
is
the
where I
way.
put my notes. The more he runs, the better he gets at it. Because he actually looks like he's trying now. Because
Yeah.
he doesn't have a briefcase
Well,
slowing
it's cool
him down.
because you watch him become like more rugged and just like...
Yeah, because his briefcase breaks because of the water.
Yeah.
And the guy on the boat gives him a bag, and he puts all his shit in the bag.
He's got a bag.
Yeah.
So he looks like more like he belongs there.
And he
sure.
runs into a group of teenage boys and he trades his Stretch Armstrong
For
the
a longboard.
Because one of the kids say, well, we can use that to tie around your sister.
That was funny.
Yeah. And then he gets he trades the board for the stretch, and I wrote, that's an awful deal for those kids.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a longboard.
Yeah.
But then he meets those kids, and they're like outside of like a lodge. And so he goes into the lodge, and it's dead. And then he goes out back, and there's some dudes like saying...
Freaking out. And I instantly knew, I put in my notes, I said, that volcano finna explode.
Yeah.
See, at this
Because
point,
he gets directions to where Sean went in the town, and he takes off, and the guy's trying to get his attention. He's like, no. And I was like, oh, that volcano's totally gonna explode.
yeah, I wrote, guy says he's getting a plane next town over, but is screaming in Iceland.
Yeah.
Like,
And then because you can see the steam coming out, so you know something's
Oh,
going
yeah.
on.
and then he goes running up, and he looks out, and he sees the valley, and it's huge.
Because he tells Walter that he got Sean a plane at 1 and it leaves in 15 minutes.
Yeah, and the valley's huge, and then I just wrote, because he's looking down at the road and stuff, and I wrote, he's about to do some wild shit.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, no pads, no helmet, just balls.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fucking Simple Plan album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Sure did. Because that's what he did, bro. Straight up.
Yeah.
He said, fuck it.
He bites his tie in half, ties these obsidian rocks to his thing for weights and to round corners, and he longboards that shit all the
Yeah,
way.
he does.
And it's so fucking aesthetic.
This is
dude.
such a fucking cool scene.
I just
man.
put sick ass longboard scene.
Yeah. Really good cinematography here as well.
Yeah, I put such cool scenery. Like,
Right.
we all wrote the same thing differently. Because, like, dude, it's so cool. All those panning shots in Iceland are
dude.
fucking awesome. And
Oh, yeah.
Greenland.
This whole movie is beautiful.
Dude, I agree.
Crazy,
like,
dude.
oh, man. Like, they went hard as fuck in the paint. For
Ben
some
Stiller
of this
makes a
shit.
good fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's a
he
good
does.
fucking movie. And then he
He
gets
has
to
a
the,
vision and he executes it really
Yeah,
well.
he does.
he gets to the town, and there's nobody in this motherfucking town
Yeah.
either, bro. And then the siren starts going
Yeah.
off.
And the hotel guy shows back up.
I wrote
Yeah.
that too.
He's like, Walter asks what's going wrong. He's like, erection, no,
Erection.
eruption.
Because like he can't find the right English word for it.
Oh, and then I wrote Eldagos, because that's the name of the volcano. It's
Yeah.
fitting to blow. And then also, whenever he was talking to those kids, he kept mentioning it. And the kids were like, because you see subtitles of them talking.
Yeah.
And one of them's like, I don't think he knows what Eldagos is. You know?
Yeah.
And it's because he doesn't. He
Yeah.
thinks it's like a town.
And then it slowly starts to explode.
And while it's exploding, though, he
You
sees
see
the
the plane, and in my notes, I literally put, "Holy fuck, Sean's on the plane. That's sick as fuck."
I put
because he's
Sean-
literally riding on top of the plane.
I put
taking
Sean is riding on that motherfucking plane.
like he's on top of the wings, strapped
Yeah.
on, taking pictures. It was fucking cool as shit.
I put Walter sees the plane fly overhead and Sean is standing on top of it, fucking sick.
Because he's like, Sean.
Yeah.
But then, like, he gets in that one guy's car and they, like, barely outrun that fucking volcano.
For sure.
And
And, like, his fucking car's, like, covered in ash.
Yeah. The hotel manager I thought he was the hotel manager.
I'm sure.
I
Or
think
the
so,
owner
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he brings him up to a Papa John's. He's like, hey, there's a hotel room right beside of it, or like
Right
close
next
by.
to
Yeah, he says there's like a Pizza John and
Yeah.
then there's a lodge or whatever.
Yeah.
I wrote, are there Papa John's where you can just go in and grab a slice?
Yeah, right? That was cool, dude.
Yeah.
I guess in Iceland, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
in Iceland.
have you guys ever seen Uncharted?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
When
watched it with you.
he goes to that one country, there's that Papa John's, and they have little fucking seats and shit.
Huh,
So,
it might just be like
Maybe like a
it's
European thing.
Yeah, we're like, because us fucking fat Americans, we get a whole pizza. They just want to go in for a slice. So
I mean,
kind of makes sense.
when I eat the za, I want the za.
Yeah.
You
when
know?
I want it, I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
Damn right, I'm a grown ass man.
Fitting this whole pizza in my mouth. You know what I mean?
I can pee in the bed if I want.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. But anyway, I
Walter
put in my
calls,
notes
Cheryl.
that Papa John's, it being a Papa John's, is a very cruel turn of irony.
For sure.
Yeah, but he calls Cheryl.
He calls
and
Cheryl.
Tells him about the
Well,
adventure.
he's also still budgeting. He's budgeting while he's at the Papa John's.
Yeah, true.
And it's then when you can see just how much he paid for the rush on the passport. It's like $400.
Yeah, he
I was
fucking-
like, God damn, that's
It's
expensive as shit.
blowing through his money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I bet life pays him pretty well. He's been
Oh,
there 16 years.
And then, he tells her how cool he is. And I wrote strong little man. Does she call him a strong little man?
Yeah.
And I put thanks, LOL. Like,
Well, no, because she's translating something. Because he tells her something. She's like, "Oh, strong little man," and he goes, he's like, "Oh, thank you." And she's like, "No, that's what
That's
that
what
means."
it means. Yeah.
oh, yeah, because he's telling her, he's reading off like what it said on the wrapper.
Yeah.
And she's looking up what it is. I can't remember the words, but the
Sure.
last one he says is warlocks.
Yeah.
No, that's to his mom, I think.
He says it's Cheryl, too. He says warlocks.
Yeah.
Because like,
She looks it up and she's like, oh, yeah, that doesn't have any hits. It doesn't relate to anything else we
okay.
Yeah.
picked up.
And then he says that he left Papa John's because the cup.
She's like, so what does that mean? He's like, oh, I used to work there. And then this is where she starts talking about the whole, his dad died on a Tuesday, and then they realized they didn't have any money, so he got like a job at Papa John's like that Thursday.
Yep. Because he starts talking about his mohawk, too.
He
Yeah.
had to shave it.
And being close with his dad. And his dad died on Tuesday. He cut his hair Thursday and got a job that same day.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, man. But, yeah, but just kind of breaks my heart. Because
Yeah,
this is...
because this is where I kind of teared up a little bit the first time because he was
Yeah.
talking about how like he had plans to be this person, but then he thought he knew who he wanted to be, but it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I felt that.
Well, it happens to all of us. I mean, if it
Yeah.
would have been up to me when I was 16, I'd be a professional wrestler right now.
Fucking same.
That'd be
You know,
awesome. I'd love to
but
watch you.
18 hits, and I need to. You got to go make money, dude.
Yeah, that's the fucking truth.
You got to make money and try to make something out of yourself at the most base level, so you could even hope to achieve something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is a fucking cruel twist of fate. It is what it is, I guess.
sure.
And then I wrote, I think she likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when they hang up, she like looks around like she's like those little cute eyes where she's like, but she kind of realizes she kind of likes him. I think.
Yeah. And then this is when you find out that the beard guy's gonna fire Hernando.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
texts him, and I like how the text message is popped up
On
on,
On the
mountain.
mountain.
That was cool as
Yeah,
shit.
I wrote that
And he's
too.
like, beard guy's gonna fire me if you don't show up like ASAP.
And then he goes home to see Beard Guy so that Hernando doesn't get fired,
Yeah.
and he gets fired instead.
He was already fired anyway.
And I wrote,
Yeah.
fuck Ted.
Yeah.
Because you also find out that Cheryl was also fired.
Yeah, a
Homie
while
just
ago.
fired everybody that was important to the story.
Yeah.
Like, and
And then he ends up seeing him. He's like, "You, where's my picture?"
Yeah, because he's like, "I see you."
And then he like gets behind that picture. He tries to run. He's like, "Stop! I see you! Stop!"
And he was like, I looked it up. The silver bat doesn't even exist.
yeah. We fact checked you. It's like, dude, fuck you, man. Go away. Hernando saves his fern.
Yeah, he's like, "That's my fern.
Yeah,
Stop!"
he does save his
That's my
fern.
fern.
And,
And Hernandez is like, "Oh, that's a cool skateboard." He's like, He's like, "Oh, I got it for Cheryl's son."
and then that's when you find out she was fired.
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, she hasn't been in."
And then Walter just like goes to where she lives. And I wrote, how does Walter know where she lives? Because like he doesn't like walk home with her.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was weird.
You know?
Oh, maybe he looked it up.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of weird, right? Like I didn't just like know where research lived. You know?
Yeah. Shows up to her house, and
Phil
Phil
answers the door.
Yeah, fuck Phil.
Fuck.
All right.
Fuck
Yeah.
Phil.
Fuck Phil.
And he's like, "Oh, I'll go get her." And she's like, "Oh, I'm busy right now."
He calls her honey.
Yeah.
And he turns to go get her. Walter just kind of just props the skateboard up against the rail. And bro, I felt so bad for
Yeah.
Walter, man.
He's like, "Well, I got nothing here."
You
So-
see, you also see the three-legged dog.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was a
Yeah.
completely different dog than it was in the first daydream.
his daydream, yeah.
And then I wrote, leaves the board and scoots. What a fucking shame.
Yeah, I was
Like,
like,
I thought they were back together because he called her honey.
man, I was like, poor man.
And then,
He gets in he calls a taxi and he gets in, and it's
He's on Conan.
He's on Conan.
on the
He
TV.
sad daydreams about Conan
yeah, he
O'Brien.
daydreams on Conan.
Which I mean, yeah, I
then he-
daydream about being on Conan.
And then he's like,
O'Brien.
"Can we turn this TV TV off? And the guy's like, nah, it stays on.
It stays on. But Conan asks, he was like, oh, let's talk about your love life. And he's like, he kind of says, oh, so they got back together. And that's when he's like, can we turn this off? And he's just like, no, it stays on.
Stays on.
And he's like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to just get out. And that's when he goes and visits his mom.
Yeah, well, he goes
it's
home.
his place.
Yeah, he goes
because his mom and sister stay there.
Yeah, it's true.
And like it's something about the piano and how the guys need a tip, and Walter comes in and gives them money.
Gives him all the money he has, and then he takes out his ID and stuff, and then he throws the wallet away.
I also wanted to make sure I wrote down that Odessa is a deadbeat and has no money.
Yeah.
And then he threw his wallet away.
And I was like, oh, why is he throwing it away?
I know. I put what the fuck, and then he sits down and he
I guess because he's out of money.
Yeah.
I just
Don't need a wallet if you ain't got no money.
I just think it was because
he lost the job and stuff.
Yeah, he went on his adventure pretty much for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he feels at this moment, you know, because he lost his job. He's not going to get Cheryl in his mind. So, like, what the fuck does it even matter?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
He's just going to be Joe Schmo anyway. So, he just throws the fucking wallet down, or throws it away, and then he sits down, he's, like, looking at the piano, and then he starts looking at the photo.
And then I was like, oh, it's a piano. And then my next note is, it's his piano! Because it's got the same exact
the same exact, like, chip.
notch in it.
Yeah.
As well, yeah.
And I wrote, bro, it's the fucking piano. No fucking way. He was there.
He was like, Mom, did somebody take a picture of your piano? She's like, I did, with Sean's camera. And he was just like, hey, why didn't you tell me that Sean was here? And she was like, I did while we were in produce, but you zoned out. You tend to do that a lot.
I thought that was really funny. Like, one of the main mechanics in the movie is a reason he misses key information.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
And she tells him that Sean has a meeting with warlords because he was like, it was like warlocks or something. She's like, no, warlords.
Yeah, because she talks about how he, like, took her Clementine cake.
Yeah, and he wanted
and that's
to go.
how the boat people got it.
Yep.
Yeah, and he wanted to go photograph snow leopards. And then Walter finds out that Sean is in Afghanistan.
Yep. Bro is finna go to Afghanistan. Shouts out Mom for the tip. Sean loves Walter for real.
Yeah, but mom also tells him that like they can't fire you because you've worked with Sean and Sean always thinks you're a hardworking guy and you always get his pictures the way that he envisions them.
That's why I wrote that about Sean loving Walter for real. Like,
You're
there's
a
real
key
love
part of the
and respect
process.
there.
Yeah.
And he goes in, grabs his keepsake backpack, and he fucking goes to Afghanistan.
Back to his adventure.
And and I love that he grabs his journal too. Make
Yeah.
sure to take
Yeah.
it.
Because it's not even about the picture anymore. It's just about the principle.
Yep.
It is.
And there's like a little bit of like
Like, he's got to finish. He's got to see this through.
He's got to finish his story.
Oh, shit.
Adrenaline! Whoa! Something! Cody Rhodes! Whoa! Wrestling has more than one royal family. Okay, I'm done. And then he gets to Afghanistan and he's like writing in his journal and it shows him like writing. And there's a few little snippets I took
where
down.
like he gives the warlords cake.
And
And he really liked the cake.
He wrote down that he rented two strong little men.
Yeah.
And then they mountain bless him.
Yeah,
because they're
smacking
smacking
him
him with the fucking
tree
leaves.
branches.
Yeah.
And then he gives the warlord the cake, and it's so funny because the warlord like stabs into
Stabs it with his bayonet.
with his bayonet. And he's like eating it off his gun, and they're like, "Yeah, it's good." I like this next one a lot because he writes, "The conditions test body and soul."
Yeah.
And then he goes to it shows them where they're really high up and it's starting to snow and he's got all his gear on.
Yeah.
And he says that like his mind drifts like the snow at
I like that.
18,000 feet.
Yeah.
And then it gets to like where they're at that little crossroads,
Yeah.
and the little they can't speak to each other, like
Yeah.
so they're like pointing at him and telling him that he needs to go,
And they're gonna go
They're
back
gonna go
down.
and then
back
the
down.
two strong little men are gonna stay
Yeah.
and leave because that's as far as they're gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, I am alone.
I put in my notes, you go, I stay, no following. Iron Giant. And then fucking Todd calls him again while he's walking up the mountain.
Yeah. I have a note that says I am alone, but I don't.
I think you wrote it in his journal.
He writes it in his alone. I am
Okay.
alone, and then the I am fades away, and it just says alone. And
Yeah.
I like that. And I put fuck me. I love this movie.
That's
I'd
too
rewatch,
SpongeBob.
I'd rewatch the shit out of this, and it isn't even over. That's what I wrote.
Surprisingly, I'm the one that rewatches it more than once.
Yeah.
Well, I literally watched it this morning.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Todd calls him again about his profile, and he talks about how Cheryl is off eHarmony, which, you know, like, that's just another, like, punch in the gut.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, they must have got back together.
Yeah, like, oh, fuck, they're back together for real, this sucks. And then he talks about how he wants him to go ahead and deactivate his account because he can't afford the $500.
That's fucking
I was like,
outrageous.
eHarmony is $500? Holy shit.
Fuck that.
I
But
mean,
you know,
well, to have the guy you can talk to, it might have been.
True. Tinder Premium is like $50 a month, though. So you gotta think, that's over $500 a year. That's
Yeah.
$600 a year.
Shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense if you're paying for it, but fuck that. And then while he's walking and talking to Todd, he just, like, casually stumbles upon Sean O'Connell.
Well, he's also saying, hey, man, I'm going to have to hang up. You know, I have to make oxygen
I have to make
choices.
oxygen choices, which I thought was funny. And then Sean's like, hey, do you mind? I'm working.
Yeah, he was like, hey, can you delete my profile? And he was like, are you sure? It's a big hit right now.
Yeah, he's like, you're getting like 300 winks. Like,
He's like, that shark story really did it for you.
but then he stumbles upon Sean O'Connell, and he's like, Sean, it's me. And he like
Walter Mitty.
takes all his shit off,
And
and
he's just like, no shit.
Sean is fucking impressed. that
He's
made
like,
it up
how
there.
did you get up here? He's like, I climbed.
He's like, I've been looking for you. Then
Like he was looking around the fucking town or something.
then they start talking about
The entire fucking world.
he's trying to get the snow leopard.
I got a quote of him saying,
Same.
beautiful things don't ask for attention.
I wrote
love
that
that.
too. Yeah.
That's fucking beautiful, man.
Beautiful things don't ask for attention.
And then we find out.
He also calls the leopard the ghost cat.
Yeah.
I want to mention that real
Something about
fast.
the ghost.
And Walter tells Sean about the number 25 missing. Like,
Yeah.
how that's why
He's
he's there.
He's like, you're sitting on it. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, it's in the
We've been
wallet.
sitting on it.
Yeah, I know. Whenever he said that, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, and then
He's like, I wrote you a note. It said, look inside. It's like, yeah, I thought you meant.
He's like, yeah, I thought it was like a thing. Look inside.
Yeah, he
yeah,
said-
look inward.
he says he thought it'd be playful and cute, and now it's gone.
You're too playful.
He's like, yeah, I get it. That was the cover. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I was trying to be fun with you. I don't know.
he said, with the cover, I guess I should have been more straightforward.
Yeah, you
Yeah, you
should.
should have, my boy.
And he was like, well, where's the wallet? And he was like, I chucked it. And then Sean's like,
Well, that hurts my
that
feelings.
hurts my
My
feelings.
He's like, no, I just.
And I wrote,
He's like, he really liked it, and Sean's like, liked it enough to throw it away. And I was like, damn.
I know, bro. That was a really funny banter scene.
Yeah.
And this is when I write, what was the photograph? Because you still don't know, because he won't
Right.
tell him either. Because he's asking him, but then the ghost cat shows up.
Yeah.
Well, Sean was like, how'd you find me? And he goes, my mom. And he goes, hey, she's a cool lady.
Cool lady.
Yeah, he talks about how she can bake real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the ghost cat shows up.
And then he gets Walter to look at it, and he's like, "It's cool." And then he just sits there, and Walter's like, "Well, when are you gonna get the shot?" And I wrote down this quote. He says, "Sometimes if I like a moment, I like to stay in it without the distraction of the camera."
I
Yeah.
know.
And I was like, I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
wrote
Fuck,
that. I wrote
I
that's
that
put
so
fuck
fucking
me,
good.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it is,
Man,
man.
beautiful things don't ask for ass.
Don't ask for attention. Fuck, that's good.
And then Sean sees people playing soccer.
He's
and
like, I'm gonna go join them.
He's like, I'm gonna go join. And then
He's just living his fucking
Yeah,
life.
he's like, I'm
bro.
gonna go join him. And then he's like, if you don't come with me, we're gonna be odd
man.
number.
Odd number. We're not gonna have enough people.
Yeah. And Walter's like, well, what's the picture? And he still won't tell him.
And he goes, let's just call it a ghost cat, Walter Mitty.
Oh my god, dude. So
Very
fucking
good.
cool, dude. Especially, and then also, man, that adds to me, like, that adds to it with, like, what the picture ends up being.
Exactly.
Even with, like,
Yeah.
the beautiful things. Beautiful things don't ask for attention. Like, that goes into that, too. Whew.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
I have a note later that kind of goes into that.
Yeah. I didn't even connect it until just now, actually. And then it's the little soccer montage of them playing soccer.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the x-ray at the airport.
That was fucking funny.
Yeah.
He beat his ass.
Kick the shit out
Because one of the little guys gave him a flute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we forgot to. Whenever they leave him and he goes alone, they give him a flute.
Yeah.
And I was like, apparently there's a travel ban
flutes.
on Afghanistan.
Yep, he tried to sneak in his flute, resisting arrest and X-ray, gets slammed and maced, and is now on the watch list.
'Cause I like the little Pied Piper dance he does too. He's like,
Yeah. and I put he got arrested, but really he just got detained.
detained by
Yeah.
TSA. Yeah.
But
Yeah, TSA
For
was
16
like,
hours.
He was like, do you know anybody in LA? He's like, no. And he was like, so do you have anybody that can verify that you're Walter Mitty?
He was like,
And he's
the
like,
only
wait.
person I know,
Todd.
Todd.
Which we forgot to mention that Todd does mention earlier that he's in LA.
Yeah.
I think it's when he calls him when he's in Greenland on the bike. He
Yeah.
says he's in LA. Like that's where he lives.
Which I love that, like, it just pans on Walter's face, and the door, you see the door open, and it's just fucking Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was right. I knew that voice.
I put he's in LA now, and I put get Todd, and then I put fuck yeah Todd.
Because he goes for a handshake, and Todd's like, nah, bring it in.
Yeah, he gives him a hug, and then he's like, all right, let's go get some Cinnabon.
Yeah.
I put Todd is a great man.
And then he talks about how he doesn't daydream as much now because he's been on all his adventures.
Yeah,
that's so
And
cool.
he was just like, hey, that's good. That's good. He's like, less is good.
And then he's like super rugged and like very like manly and handsome now too.
Yeah.
With, like,
Yeah,
his beard.
I wrote down. He was just like, "You're not how I pictured you." And he's like, well, "How did you picture me?" He's like, I pictured you as a little gray piece of paper, but now it's like Indiana Jones became the lead singer of the Strokes or something.
Yeah, I know. It's
That
like,
is literally my next note is Indiana Jones became the lead singer of the Strokes.
I don't know if Harrison Ford can sing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Todd tells Walter how awesome he is.
I put Ben Stiller with a beard doesn't look half bad.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good with that beard and the rugged look.
You know, my next note is Ben Stiller is so hot.
I was thinking it too.
Yeah, I was like, bro, he looks good, dude.
He looked really good.
Yummy.
And then he talks about how he's got to go sell the piano.
Yeah, he's like, well, I gotta go, but I'm gonna go sell the piano.
Because Todd's like, you owe me, bro. And he's like, I'll give you money.
I'll send you a check when I sell the piano.
Yeah.
And then I write, why is Walter selling the piano? And then I said, oh, I guess it's the whole no money, no job thing.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, for what? And she's like, well, Dad bought you that piano, and it was my job to protect it. And she was like, it's okay. We're all adults here.
Yeah.
I was like,
kind of reminded me of Happy Gilmore with the house.
Yeah.
Where the grandma's like, I don't care about the house. I just want you to be happy.
And then they're walking. And she said,
oh, that's a big sum. You should put that in your
put
a
it in
wallet. And he's like, I don't have a wallet.
He's like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
he's like, no, I threw it away.
And she was like, how did you get that? She's like, I always save your knickknacks.
And I was like, I called back.
I came back.
And then I put, bro, his mom got the wallet, bro. We gonna get the photo. And then I put, oh shit, I feel some tears because there's like a rise in the music, you know, because it's like, oh shit, because he pulls it out. You still don't see what it is, but then he rolls into the office. And, like, you see where they've changed it around, like, it says Life Online and all that.
Yeah.
And he goes into, like, the one little boardroom that's open with just a few people that are left. And he gives it, he tells Ted, like, he asks Ted if he even knows what the motto is.
Because Ted's like, you're not employed here.
Yeah. And he asks Ted if he even knows the motto.
He goes, Life. I'm loving it.
He said, no, that's McDonald's.
That's McDonald's. And they're showing, like, the new cover of Life. Or, like, the last cover is going to be, like, no cover at all, basically. Yeah. And they think it's like, oh, it's such a good idea.
A statement or something.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, I guess, like, if you had to pull something out of your ass, it could be worse. But still.
I didn't do my homework. Here's whatever I found.
Walter tells him that he understands that he has marching orders and he has to answer to people. But
you don't have to be such a dick.
He doesn't have to be such a dick about it.
And the people that worked here, they believed in that motto.
And you like the fact that you don't even fucking know it's a slap in the face.
Yeah. And he's like, put that on your plaque and hanging at your next job.
Yeah. That's a callback to what Ted said to Walter.
Yeah.
Because Walter was like, I haven't lost a negative in 16 years. And he's like, oh, good, you can put that on a plaque and hang it at your next job.
Adam Scott's such a douchebag in this movie. He's
like,
so good at playing that character.
Yeah, but like the way Walter claps back at him is so good.
And then it's him in the elevator with Hernando, and Hernando tells...
I love this little hug they have.
I teared up a little because he was just like, you were a great boss, Walter.
You were a great boss, Walter. And then they like stacks the box on the other box.
Yeah,
and they
hug each other.
Because he also asked, he was like, what was the picture? And he was like, I didn't look.
I didn't look. Fucking awesome.
Because this is where I put my notes, that like it doesn't really matter what the picture is anymore. Like, it's like it doesn't matter what it was. He got to go on his adventure. That's why, like when he says he didn't look, he's like, well, he didn't look at the picture. He's like, it doesn't matter what it was.
Because then it cuts to him at like a coffee shop.
Yeah, coffee shop making a resume on careerbuilder.com.
Yeah. And
his resume, it's like all the stuff he did.
Yeah, it's like his 16 years at life, and then it's like all the wild shit he's done.
Yeah.
He's like one of 3 non-Navy SEALs to jump out of the water, out of a helicopter into the water or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck? How do you know that?
And then he gets an email from Richard.
From Cheryl's son, thanking him for the skateboard and
a video of him kickflipping.
A video of him kickflipping.
On a longboard, which is weird because like longboards are a lot harder to do tricks on than regular skateboards. But power to Richard, I guess.
He finally lands a kickflip because he was trying at the beginning.
He just needed a little more snap.
A little more snap. That's exactly what he needed, and he got it. Probably needed a lot more snap with that fucking longboard.
Yeah, I'll bet.
You know.
And then Walter goes to pick up a severance package, and then he sees Cheryl and follows after her. And then Walter tells her that she didn't bore him that day in the park, and that he was daydreaming about her, and did the exact same thing in Greenland
with Major Tom.
Yeah, Major Tom, and she asked him what happened to him because he kind of fell off the face of the earth, and he was just like, "Well, I stopped by, and your husband answered the door," and she was like, "Oh, yeah, Phil was fixing my refrigerator, and he's not my husband." And he was like, "Well, I guess I may have imagined that," and she was like, "You have a good imagination."
Yeah,
I just wrote, "Oh God, don't tell her about the Benjamin Button thing."
Yeah, that's where I thought he was going.
That's gonna be a deal breaker right there, Bucko.
But you find out they're not together.
Yeah.
And I wrote, "Oh shit," and then he asks Cheryl out.
Yeah, he
to
was
go
like-
to the play that his sister's in.
He was like, it's not Broadway, but it's like some weird church. And he's like, that probably doesn't sound that enticing. She's like, oh no, I love it. I love Rizzo.
She's really the leader of the movie.
She's like, oh yeah, tough and tender. And then they go by the shop.
She's like, oh yeah, the last issue she'll drop today.
Well, hang on. She said yes. Let's go, Walter, with the big dick.
That's not at all what she said, but I respect it.
My fucking boy. And then they walk by, and
You finally see the picture. It says dedicated to the people that made it.
and it's a picture of Walter looking at negatives sitting on
Yeah.
the street.
At his spot in front of that fountain, and that's when you realize he must have snapped that picture when he was in town.
And then she was just like,
Secretly.
should we get one? And he was like, oh yeah, I was totally gonna go get one. I just didn't want to seem cool.
I didn't want to be one of the first. I didn't want to be the one in the picture buying it on day one.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then they hold hands.
Ebony grabs her hand, and that's the end of the movie.
And hey, maybe the real Walter Mitty was the friends we made along the way.
Hey,
That's literally my last note.
I put photography from landscapes from the movie played during the credits, and I said, beautiful fucking movie.
As a single tear falls down my face, I reflect, and although I wanted to find a reason to not give this movie a 10, I think I'm giving it a fucking 10, because fuck me, is it good.
That fucking song's catchy, dude.
Everything about this movie was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all of it, man, because like on the first watch, because I was not paying attention a lot, because I'm typing notes down, and
Right.
so initial watch I gave it like 8.5, 9. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go to a full blown fucking 10.
Shit.
I try to save the 10s. I try to save them. But this one, dude, like it caught me like a fucking like left hook out of nowhere.
Yeah, dude. This
Because
was...
I've slept on this movie for 11 fucking years.
Yep.
And like I finally get to watch it 11 years after I originally said I was gonna watch it. And I was gonna go see it in theaters, but never fucking made it there. And I watched it. It holds up great. It looks great. Had a good time fucking watching it. Probably gonna give it a 5 on Letterboxd.
Yep.
I don't have a negative thing to say about the movie because it didn't overstay its welcome.
Nope.
Wasn't too long. It also didn't lose me anywhere. It just kept you entertained or kept you interested in the entire time. And it was good enough that I watched it 2 back-to-back days.
I was gonna say, like, for me, there was never a dull moment. Cause movies and everything, I lose attention so quick on things. Like, I have an awful attention span.
Oh, yeah.
But with this, man, like, I was just in the whole time. I guess I'll go ahead and go to piggybacking off of Dylan. I'm also gonna give this movie a 10.
Hell yeah.
Cause it's fucking fantastic. There's no reason to me not to give it a 10.
I also think it's kind of slept on because I don't hear anyone talk about this
Right.
movie ever. The reviews on it on Letterboxd, I was looking at as I watched it after I watched it the first time. I was reading all the reviews and everybody seemed to love it as well.
Yeah.
It's just I don't hear a lot of people talk about it.
Right.
Like, this could end up becoming like a comfort movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like, fuck, dude, it's so fucking good.
And like I don't see it on TV ever either.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I could watch this movie at any point in my
Yeah.
life and love it, I think.
and
Like, I
like-
could have watched it whenever it first came out.
Yeah.
I would have loved it. I love it now. I probably would have loved it when I was like in my early 20s.
Yeah, dude.
I'm sure I'll continue to love this movie.
Like I think it's just one of those ones that just got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, for sure. And it deserves to be looked at in a different way.
Absolutely.
Because right now it seems like it's not looked at all.
Yeah.
So-
It's very under the radar.
Kyle, what do you
It's
think?
definitely a 10 for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All across the board.
10s
bro.
across the board.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it was
Like, there's not a dull moment. It's paced perfectly.
yeah.
Like,
The
fuck,
fucking
dude.
music's good, cinematography's good, story's good. The characters are all just fucking like casted so well.
So well.
Everything
like,
about it
every-
is fucking good.
It just seems like everyone's just playing like what they were born to play.
Yeah.
Because like Patton Oswalt just played Patton
Yeah,
Oswalt.
Catherine Hahn,
Yeah, she's
Kristen Wiig, like,
dude. Adam Scott,
perfect dickhead.
perfect role to be the dickhead boss.
Yeah.
That just hates.
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
Yeah, like, he just has such a punchable face, and he's just so great at being like fucking prick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Ben Stiller plays his character very well because he kind of plays similar characters in other movies, and I like that it's kind of like a comedy, but it's not. It doesn't focus on the comedy.
No, it's
Right.
just like
But the
it's,
comedy's like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Like
it's a
just
drama.
Yeah.
It makes you. It's another one of those movies, kind of like The Holdovers, which I know completely random comparison, but like
Yeah.
where it makes you feel all the things.
Everything.
Yeah, every
Somewhere-
emotion you're.
There's something for everybody. in
And
there.
movies like that, I mean, really are very rare.
Agreed.
Especially nowadays. Because
Absolutely.
normally you're kind of going into a movie like knowing what you're gonna.
Well,
You kind of
no,
know what you're
yeah.
gonna get.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
And,
like every movie we do, I always watch the trailer of it before I watch the movie.
Same.
And like this one doesn't like I miss trailers like this this, where it doesn't spoil a lot of stuff.
No.
It just kind of tells you how the plot might go.
Right.
Yeah.
And I miss that, man.
Because like the trailer is very just like this guy who doesn't do a lot in life but wants to finally goes and does it. That's basically what it tells you.
Well, honestly though, like from the trailers, from what I remember anyway, it looks like it could have just been about some dude fucking daydreaming about shit.
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea what the fuck I was getting myself into.
Because I miss trailers like that, because like now post COVID and shit like that, every movie is just spoiling everything just so it gets you in the fucking seat.
Yeah.
I miss trailers pre that because they were just like,
Sometimes less is more.
yeah,
For sure.
beautiful things don't need attention. Don't ask for attention.
God damn. Fuck yeah.
Alright, give me one.
Fuck yeah.
Anybody
That sums it up, bro. No, I love it. Those are perfect words to end on.
If this was 2013, I would say, or early 2014 at that point probably,
Yeah.
I would
'Cause you
say
probably-
go watch this movie in the fucking theater.
Because it
Absolutely.
came out on Christmas, so you're probably not seeing it until like the first of the year.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of those weird families that go to movies on Christmas.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. I worked at a movie theater.
Same.
You fucking suck.
It fucking sucked ass.
But I just want to say one more thing. Listen to the podcast.
Listen to this pod, bitch.
Girl, the way you move it. All right, Dylan, take us home.
All right. Well, that's been another Movie Juiced. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Follow us on Facebook at Movie Juice, Instagram at Movie Juice Pod, Twitter at Movie Juice Pod. The website's still in the coming soon phase, but you can always check it out at www.moviejuicepod.com. You can, if you have a movie that you want to recommend to us, you can email us. You can also, if you want to talk about any of the movies that we've watched, if you want to tell us your thoughts on the movies, you can email us or comment below. Or you just want to talk to us, we'll read it on the pod at some point. You can email us at moviejuicepod@gmail.com. All links can be found on Linktree. We are on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. You can follow us all individually on Instagram and Twitter. Our handles are in the description below. And we will be back next week with Thanksgiving for our Thanksgiving special. And as always, I've been Dylan.
I've been Kyle.
And I've been James. And for one last time, this has been The Juice.